God, I think I was in college and I had a motorcycle. I'd drive up and down Mulholland Drive and we kind of look at it and just go, what is that crazy thing? That was that house in Lethal Weapon 2. And I had no idea who it was architecturally. And then we came to see it, had no intentions of buying it, just wanted to see what it was. And when you're in the structure, it's absolutely the most spectacular kind of like feeling you get with the indoor-outdoor. And we just went for it. So we bought it. John Lautner was both a blessing and a curse, is that he built these incredibly unique structures, which are, for the most part, completely custom. So simple things like changing a light bulb become monumental tasks. And the problem was, when we got the place, it looked just like this. The structure was intact, it was virtually perfect, completely structurally sound. He overbuilt everything. But simple maintenance items became so difficult that people just didn't do them. The roof was leaking, the deck was cracked because somebody couldn't get it up underneath to, re-waterproof it and things. So it was those kind of like maintenance items that we had to basically address, and effectively we stripped the thing down to the bare bones to rebuild it. We were fortunate enough to meet Russ and Gina Garcia, who he built the house for. When we moved back in, they had stopped by, and weirdly we were outside, so we invited them in and asked them every question we could possibly want answered. And I said, what could you have possibly told John Lautner to build, as a directive to build this house? And the directive was, Russ Garcia was a musician, so we had to create music, and his wife was a big entertainer. And she would often have parties with 150, 200 people. He had to be able to compose music while she was having a party and not be bothered. And so he came up with this incredibly unique two-part house that is totally separate, and it serves that purpose. We did a lot of research before we undertook the project of restoring, remodeling this. In the 80s, one of the owners that owned this place ripped out everything that was reminiscent of the original design. Cabinets, load-bearing walls, faucets, fixtures. There was basically nothing left that was original. And they replaced it with an 80s feel. Mirror, Formica. It was absolutely atrocious. I'm not a purist, so when something is ripped out or removed, I think you have an opportunity to take liberties to make something better. And Lautner was the person that believed in if there was better technology, when you were able to do something, he wanted you to do it. We had the original plans, and again, one of the things that Lautner was so kind of like, his directive was, if there's something better for you in the future and you can do it, you should do it. And so because the whole part of the floor plan had been removed and reconfigured, we then said, okay, we're going to put it back, but what makes the most sense to put it back? So we kind of took a little bit of liberties on the master side in terms of like living space. But it really serves our purposes, and I think it has made the house much better. Marmor was the best. We did a lot of research on architects, and they did the Kaufman House in Palm Springs, and they really knew what they were doing. They have a design build, they had a wood shop, they had a metal shop, and so much of this house is custom. The house, like I said, through the various owners, had ripped out every single original surface. Fortunately, we had the lava rock and we had the terrazzo, but we had to match the terrazzo on the other side because we had to repair some things. So, they researched and designed all the new cabinetry, all the surfaces in the bathrooms. The things that were left when we had the house, we had the kitchen sink, we had a magazine rack, and a toothbrush holder. Those are the only actual things that were left. Everybody else had ripped everything out. And I really believe that these structures, they have to be protected because so much of our history has been lost, especially in a city like this, that houses were, the kind iconic structures. It wasn't these, monuments or other buildings. It's houses. It has absolutely changed our lives. It's changed our lives. It's made me particularly a bigger thinker. It has opened the world of architecture and art and just interesting people that never would have come across our path unless we would have had this place.